All right, as you can see, I placed our original crescent rolls. I used about 2 packs for this amazing Thanksgiving Day recipe. I'm next going in with my Philadelphia whipped cream cheese, and I'm grabbing my ice cream scooper, and we're gonna go right in and place a big helping of our whipped cream cheese right into each one of our crescent rolls. I make this every year for Thanksgiving as an appetizer, and I have never disappointed any of my guests, my family, my friends. I love making this super simple, easy, pass around appetizers. And we're going in. I always use the whipped cream cheese. I find that it's easier to work with, and it kind of just marries with that crescent roll beautifully. I know that they have like a couple flavored cream cheeses as well, but the original whip for this recipe is what you're gonna need. Beautiful. Next, I'm going in with my cranberry sauce, and as everyone knows, you have to open the can on the other side, which I just found out as well. And I'm gonna be placing that with my tinier ice cream scooper right on top of our whipped cream cheese. Just like so. I mean, I love cranberries this time of year. Thanksgiving, Christmas, 'tis the season. For summertime, you could do like an orange marmalade or a lemon curd for this. But like I said, for Thanksgiving, Christmas, cranberries, you cannot go wrong. And I use about pretty much the entire can of that. And if you don't like cranberries much, you could kind of do a lighter version as well with a little light of the cranberry. But this is perfect. This is exactly what we want. All right, now that we have our cranberry in place, I'm just gonna go in and tuck all of those ingredients in to our lovely little crescent rolls. I'm just gonna tuck each one of those in, not too tight because we don't want anything to kind of not be able to breathe. And I already have this pan buttered as well to make sure that we can get those out of our muffin tin with ease. Beautiful. Lightly tucking them in for a little nap if you want to. Perfect. These are gonna be so delicious. My mouth is already watering. Ooh, yummy. That cream cheese is just gonna melt up so nice and blend with that delicious crescent roll. And these last couple ones. And you can feel free to use like a fresh cranberry or a jam or jelly like I was saying, but for the holidays, oh, look at that one tucked in just like a little baby. Okay, perfect. Now that we have these all tucked in, I'm gonna place this in the oven for about 15-20 minutes at 350. All right, so I just placed my original crescent rolls into my muffin tin, and I have them all facing the same direction. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Hershey's milk chocolate bar, and I'm gonna break that bar and just place a portion, about 2 of those little squares into each one of my crescent rolls, just like so. And you can feel free to use a dark chocolate or a white chocolate. I know with these kind of bars, they also have like cookies and cream too. So you can use whichever kind of chocolate you like. For this recipe, I just decided to go with the original milk. And like I said, about 2 squares for each of these crescent rolls. This is gonna make an amazing dessert. We are ready for fall with this one. Oh, perfect. And I used 2 bars and it fit perfectly over my crescent rolls. Next, I'm going in with my Jet Puff. I selected the mini marshmallows for this recipe, and we're just gonna put a handful of each one of those little crescent rolls. Oh, yum. And those are gonna melt up real nice in our crescent rolls.
Ooh, could you do like a Reese's with it?
Oh yeah, a Reese's. You could do a Milky Way, kind of any chocolate bar. Like I said, we're going more classic with just our Hershey's. All right, and we're gonna go and just kind of tuck those Hershey's and marshmallows into our crescent rolls, like so. And see how I have all of that covered, nice and tucked in. Oh, beautiful. Make sure that we have all of those marshmallows, and these are gonna cook up so nice, and that chocolate and marshmallow is gonna get all melty. We're just tucking those in, and we're not done just yet. I have a few other items that we're gonna be placing in here. And look at how I'm just kind of tucking those in. And these are gonna be amazing little bite-sized dessert bombs.
Yum.
Even if I say so myself, these look delicious. And that's kind of why this crescent roll works best, because you can kind of manipulate them over the ingredients that we have in there. Oh, I forgot a marshmallow there.
Looks so good.
I'm just gonna tuck those in. Beautiful. And we already sprayed our muffin tin with our butter pans to make sure that those crescent rolls do not stick. Ooh, beautiful. Last one here. Ooh, a couple extra marshmallows. It'll make that one will be extra gooey. Next, I'm gonna go in, I have a stick of our melted butter, and I'm going right over those little bombs pretty generously, because who doesn't love butter? Ooh, yum, yum, yum. This is still kind of hot, so just be careful. And like I said, this is gonna be the perfect little bite-sized dessert. And you can kind of select what options, like we were saying, the Kit Kat bars, Reese's, dark chocolate, but this is kind of more of a classic.
Just more, right?
Yeah, just minus the graham cracker, but our crescent roll is gonna act like our graham cracker. Oh, yummy. And the last thing I'm gonna go in with is our cinnamon toast crunch Cinnadust seasoning. And we're just gonna top all of those little crescent rolls. So this is kind of a cinnamon sugar mixture. I don't know if anybody else has had cinnamon toast crunch cereal. This is one of my favorites. I saw this and I just knew the recipe I wanted to make. Oh, yum, that cinnamon sugar smells so delicious. And we're gonna follow the directions on this, and we're gonna place these in the oven for about 15-20 minutes at 350. All right, I have my big crescent rolls down. I'm next going in with our little smokies, and I'm just placing those right at the top portion of our crescent rolls for this super simple little breakfast recipe. Ooh, almost lost that one. And you can feel free to kind of do whatever protein you have. I just had these in the house and I thought they would be perfect for this recipe. I'm going in next with the Colby Jack cheese, and we are just gonna place that Colby Jack onto our crescent roll. I'm a cheese lover, so I'm gonna make sure that those are perfectly coated.
Yeah, load the cheese on there.
Exactly. More cheese, the better. No one has complained that there was too much cheese.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Oh, beautiful. And you can feel free to do any kind of cheese you like. Colby Jack with the orange and white is just one of my favorites for breakfast recipes. Beautiful. All right, I'm going in. I have some par-cooked eggs that we're also going to be placing into our little breakfast roll-ups.
Yum.
Perfect. And I use about 6 eggs, so there's about 1 egg per crescent roll.
Oh, I love eggs.
Me too. Eggs are hard to beat. I'm at egg bites, egg everything, egg crepes in the morning. I'm an egg girl. Ooh, beautiful. All right, now that we have those all assembled, I'm gonna start to give those a nice roll. Make sure we don't lose any of our stuffings. Kind of force that in. And I use the big croissants for this recipe just because we have so many of those ingredients in there. It just holds everything so beautifully.
Wow, that's so cool.
Look at those. And those are gonna crisp up super, super nice. And that cheese is gonna be all melted. This is gonna be a great addition for like a New Year's Eve brunch. Ooh, perfect. Or even like a meal prep. Super simple, take and bake little roll-ups. All right, beautiful. All right, but we are not done yet. I have just some melted butter here. I'm gonna be placing some of our garlic into our melted butter, just some minced garlic. Oh, my hands are all. And just a touch.
Get out of there.
Perfect. All right, and we are going to grab our little paintbrush, and I'm just gonna go over each one of our crescent rolls to give them a buttery, flaky crust with that lovely garlic.
Oh, that garlic smells so good.
I know, doesn't it? You could also do like a garlic powder or garlic salt, but that minced garlic just crisps up really, really nicely when it's baked.
And it's so easy.
Exactly. And I feel like everyone has minced garlic at their house, so it's an easy one to add with butter.
Yes.
Ooh, beautiful. Okay, these are all ready to go into our oven. We're gonna be placing them in our oven for about 20 minutes at 350. All right, as you can see, I placed our crescent rolls onto our grease 13 by 9. I used 2 packages and I'm just cuffing those seams and making sure that's all tucked in. I'm next just going in with a kitchen fork and I'm just gonna be creating little punctures onto our crescent rolls. All right, I'm next coming in with some organic maple syrup. This is gonna be a super yummy, sweet and savory little treat. I love making sweet and savory appetizers, brunch, breakfasts, lunches. Ooh. And I use maybe about a 1/4 cup of that maple syrup right over the top. I'm next coming in with one of my favorite ingredients. I have some bacon here and I just have it par cooked. And I have about 8 strips of bacon right here, and I'm just gonna go right ahead and chop that all over our crescent rolls. And that bacon, the fat and the saltiness of that is just gonna be so perfect for this. That maple syrup is gonna start to caramelize with that yummy bacon. And you can feel free to do kind of any breakfast little protein here, but I mean, maple and bacon is really hard to beat. And I know for the holidays, a lot of folks are doing like holiday barks. So this is my take on kind of more of a breakfast bark, sweet and salty. Oh, yummy. And it's okay, we didn't remove any of the grease because I love using some of that bacon fat to just flow right into our crescent rolls. Oh, perfect. And even the crunchy bits, we don't want to mess with those. We don't want to miss those. All right, I'm just going to start spreading some of that out. Oh, beautiful. All right, and to top this off, we're going in with some of our pecan pieces. And I'm just going to go right over our crescent dough. And you can also feel free to do like a walnut or an almond or a peanut. But with that maple and bacon, the pecan pieces are just a match made in heaven, to be honest. And I use that entire bag of pecans. The last thing that we're gonna be placing onto our crescent dough is our brown sugar. And this is just gonna help caramelize all of those yummy ingredients. And I'm just gonna sprinkle some right on top of our bacon, pecans, maple syrup. I mean, look at how amazing that looks. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering. And you can feel free to use a light or a brown sugar. Both work for this recipe. I'm just gonna go right on over everything. Make sure that's nice and set. All right, I'm now gonna be placing this into our oven for about 20-25 minutes at 350. Oh my goodness, look at how amazing these little appetizers turned out. All of the cream cheese is nice and melted. Our cranberries look amazing. So this is optional. I'm gonna go in with some hot honey just for an added little kick. And I'm just gonna drizzle that all over our delicious little appetizer bombs. And that hot honey just adds that just extra little flair to this dessert. Beautiful. And the last thing I'm gonna grab, I have some seasoned thyme that I placed in the oven, and we're just gonna go in and put a couple little sprigs because 'tis the season, and just go in, and that just adds that kind of earthy, festive Thanksgiving, Christmas vibe.
Wait, is that thyme or is it rosemary?
Rosemary. Did I say rosemary or
You
thyme?
said thyme.
Oh, well, it's time for me to go take a nap. So, but this is just gonna add that nice little Christmas, Thanksgiving freshness. Oh my gosh, and they just look so cute. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right, I am ready to give this a try. These are still pretty hot, so I'm just gonna take my knife, and we already buttered the pan, so these should come out pretty easy. You just kind of go right around. Oh my gosh, grab my little appetizer plate, that cream cheese. that yummy hot honey. Oh my gosh. And look at how freaking darling those are. Aren't those so cute? You can see like the cranberry just right there.
Yum.
And that hot honey is gonna be so delicious. I'm just gonna go on in. I think I'm just ready to go on in. Oh my gosh. That addition of hot honey, the rosemary, reminds me of Thanksgiving. Delicious, delicious. Oh my goodness, look at our Cinnadust s'more bombs. That golden toasty brown looks so amazing. I just pulled these out of the oven and I'm ready to try one. Which one should we go for?
Definitely this one.
All right, now we're just gonna pop this out. That silicone mold, oh my goodness. Look at how ooey and gooey that looks. Yum. I'm gonna place this right on my little appetizer plate and we're gonna go right on in. Oh, you can see the marshmallow and that butter. Super yummy. Rich, delicious. All right, our little crescent breakfast rolls are ready. They're nice and crispy. Everything is perfectly cooked. I'm gonna come in with my little serving tray and I'm gonna start to place those right onto our little board. I mean, look at how darling those are.
Wow.
Super easy, super affordable, and delicious.
You
But
look amazing.
I know breakfast is not complete without. I have some maple syrup here. Delicious. Just to add a touch of sweetness. You could also feel free to do like a hot sauce if you wanted, or like a sour cream.
Ooh.
But I just think that maple syrup is just gonna really
Bring it
everything.
together.
Exactly, exactly. All right, I'm gonna go in. I think we're just gonna go in and give it a try.
Ooh.
Really, really good. All right, we just pulled this out of the oven and oh my goodness. Our crescent dough is nice and browned. Our bacon is juicy and our pecans are nice and toasted. And I'm just gonna finish that off with just our maple syrup. I'm just gonna hit it with just a tiny bit of our maple syrup before we serve this up. Oh my gosh. You can even hear the bacon kind of crackling on there. Just a touch more. Ooh, yummy. This is gonna be super, super yummy. I have my little serving tray right here and we're just gonna start breaking this up into our little bark. We go right down the middle. Ooh, those pecans are nice and toasted. Oh, perfect. All right, I'm just gonna go right on in. I'm gonna break this up a little bit so we can get some good slices for everyone who's on the sidelines ready to take a bite. And oh my gosh, it's almost like a breakfast, sweet, salty, like flatbread. Ooh, my mouth is watering. If you could smell the bacon, the pecans, that brown sugar. Oh my gosh, look at how amazing that looks. And I'm just gonna go ahead and place this onto our serving platter. Like I said, this is gonna be a great addition for a brunch, a breakfast. Just grab a couple of slices. Make sure to get those toasted pecans. All right, now that we have this all plated up, I'm just gonna go right on in for a piece. Oh my gosh, this looks so amazing. It's gonna be hot, so we gotta make sure we blow on it. Oh my gosh, the bacon and maple combination, hard to beat.